Hi, I'm Wendy. This is Simple Spirituality, and Mercury is in retrograde. So we are in the last couple days of Mercury retro. It does go direct on the 5th, and consequently, I am re-recording this video. So unfortunately, you don't get to see my surprised face as I see the cards for the first time, like usual, because we had some technical difficulties. But I am excited about this week's cards. I'm happy to share the information with you. Mercury does go direct. If, like me, you've had kind of an emotional Mercury retro, you can look forward to the energies easing up, uh, being able to kind of get out of that walking through mud feeling and actually having the decks cleared to take new action, which is awesome. So hopefully this has been a fruitful period for you in Mercury retro, where you have examined yourself, you've looked at uh, what may have needed closure from the past, old emotional issues, old relationships, anything that didn't end cleanly tends to resurface on a Mercury retro, and that's to give us an opportunity to really end things completely and step forward into something new and different. So it's powerful to call those pieces of ourself that are still hung up in old situations or old emotions powerfully present with us in the here and now. That's what gives us more energy to create that which we would like. So that's exciting. Hopefully that's been happening for you. If not, there's a couple days left. Great time for a soul restoration, soul realignment session with me, by the way. It's great stuff. Anyway, now we get to move forward more powerfully, and we have some great cards for that. The very first card we've seen before. This is the storyteller card. And so this card always speaks of expansion. It speaks of you stepping out into the world in a new and different way. It also is about stepping back and gaining perspective to see the whole picture of your life. What is the story of your life? It can be very encouraging when we tend to get so focused on the minutia of every day, or so in the midst of the mess and the struggle that may be happening in our lives, that we lose some perspective and we forget that we are the heroes of our own story. No one is going to create the life we want for us. It is up to us to do that. And in order to do that, we have to step into things that frighten us. We have to deal with those parts of ourselves that would rather hold back. We need to deal with challenges head on and directly from a sense of power, as awkward as it is. And I always say about taking our own power that no one does it gracefully in a new area for the first time. I mean, we would all like to, right? Just step in and be wonderful and fantastic and look graceful and poised and wonderful while we take our power. However, it's often not done that way because it's so new and it can be so challenging to be who we really are in a new situation. So be gentle with yourself on that, but do continue to ask yourself, what is the bigger story of my life? What do I want to expand into? What do I want to step into? What way am I wanting to challenge myself to be a bigger person, to be a more authentic person? What new phase of my story would I like to start writing? So uh, always it is also taking the power of the ancestor stories. You know, where are you in the story of your lineage? How do you resonate with your spiritual tradition in that story? Because each of our individual stories are also part of the greater stories of humanity and the greater stories of spirit, of source. We are each those little pieces of individuation of source, you know, part of the story of source wanting to discover itself. So stories are amazing, and it's a powerful time for stories, yourself and others. And then we have an animal ally, an old friend who's coming in to support us this week. And this is my buddy, the moose. I've mentioned before, this is my husband's medicine, so I'm partial to it. Moose is always wanting to loudly trumpet his own story. The moose, not out of ego at all, but really just out of the joy of sharing. And so the moose will bellow and he will really make his presence known. And so that is a message for you to be bold with your truth, to be bold with your story. Don't let somebody else water down your story or tell you that your story is something that you're not. It's not. Be like the moose who joyfully trumpets what he cares about. And the moose also has a beautiful energy of mature leadership where there's a groundedness and a wisdom. And those are the best stories, right? Because those are the stories we share out of our life experience that empowers other people walking the same road. So be joyful this week, be loud this week, and give yourself permission to expand this week in a way that is calling you to be the biggest and best version of yourself. I wish you tons of love as we move out of Mercury retro. And as always, until I see you again, may we all walk in beauty. Take care.